Well, hello! A really big box arrived today with a really big bag in it. And it looks like this. I can barely get it in the frame. This is the Drone Adventure Backpack from Torvol, who make a range of backpacks for quads. Some racing ones, some sort of more the toy end. This is for your aerial quads. Now, I have to say, I'm not really much of an aerial specialist, and this looked pretty much like it was built for a Phantom. So I had to say, originally, I don't know if I'll be able to do your bag much justice because I'm not a Phantom owner. I've got this big, hefty aerial quad, but you know, it's obviously not built for that. But this really sparked their interest because they were like, this is really reconfigurable. Yeah, it's designed around a Phantom and having different batteries and props, but you can reconfigure the inside and make it so your quad will fit. So I thought we'd try that. So we're going to take a look if my big quad can fit in. Here's what we're dealing with, and when I built this some years ago, what's about 3-4 years ago, I thought I was being very clever. This is a folding frame. This is a, what is it, a Quantum XJ470 frame. It's got this DJI power pack. I can't remember where it's from, but these ESCs, look at the size of them. They're huge. They're like little bricks. And I thought I was clever because I've got the GPS will fold down. This will fold down. This little antenna will come out. So it's all quite foldable, which at the time was like, wow, a quad that folds, that's amazing. Normally they're used to being like this. Of course, time has marched on and we've got, it went from Phantom to the Mavic to the Mavic Air. We're talking really small quads now, but still for maximum picture clarity, people are using the Phantoms and the Phantom 4 Advanced. I did do some filming on this last year on a holiday, which I published. And this was all a little bit wobbly. It still needs tuning and stuff, but it did okay. What wasn't okay was me carrying it. I basically strapped this to my normal quad backpack, so I'm ending up with a great big heavy lever on my back. This is a couple of kilograms, and we walked for over 10 kilometers that day, and after the first 4 kilometers I was ready to just pick this up and throw it in the nearest ditch because I was in pain carrying this thing around. Now, obviously, I can't do anything about the weight of it, but I am interested to know if A, I can put it in this backpack, and B, if I can get it so the weight is correctly on my hips, which is what a backpack should do for you, not put it on your back. So, interesting things. Anyway, we need to get inside this because it's got about 1 million pockets and various inserts and things. So, come down on the floor and we'll get this thing opened up. Okay, so welcome onto the floor. Well, I'm with the backpack, and I just wanted to show you what's inside it, which is probably easier done with me here, in a kind of weird position. Hi there. But anyway, let's get into it. So just take the little thing, there's pockets here. So this whole top section is a roll top, which can basically be expanded or not, upwards. But let's get into this main section, because this is where your imaging drone, as they like to call it, would go. And if we open this up immediately, this is a rain cover. You'll notice what we've got in there is a very Phantom-like space. So this is how a Phantom would fit in, and it's got these little holders here. Each one of these will hold 2 of the Phantom batteries, and then this is a transmitter case. Now, of course, one thing you will notice is this great big behemoth isn't a Phantom. It's not a Phantom size. It's not going to go in there. So what do we do? And we'll come to this in a second. But yeah, I just wanted to go through the other quick bits. This is designed to be a transmitter pack. It's a little bit in there, and you've got yet another section to put things on with these little things. I'm not sure what they are. You get 4 of them, and I'll try to find out what they are because I'm not sure. Down on this section, you've got a little container here which contains these straps for, basically, if you've got this around your back, you can put these straps onto your transmitter and attach them to the front. So if you take these out, it's also a really handy place for glasses. This has these little loops here, so it's a place to put 8 props, and these also come up very easily. And that's the thing for everything on this. Basically, will disconnect and rearrange itself in the way you want it to. So if we pay attention now to the side bits we've got, again another general use pocket. The idea of this one is because it's a travelling backpack, keys on here, and like, you know, you might have travel documents, general bits and pieces in there, like, you know, money or whatever. It's your general purpose pocket. On the other side, apart from some little bits about how it all goes together and that, this is kind of designed to hold things in, so you might have a chair or a tripod or something like that, but again, use it for what you want. This side here, we've got both a larger open space to put a laptop, we've got a smaller space here where you might put a tablet or something. In the roll top section, it's basically more litres of stuff, so this closes together, and what you've got in there is a great big flexible space. And of course, if you don't want to use it, it just rolls down like so. So I guess the question is going to be how to put this big bugger in here. And this is where the flexibility of stuff comes in. Because what we can do is firstly remove the transmitter bag, secondly remove these bits, like that, and what we've then got there is a huge space. But it's not only a huge space, because this is the roll top bag, we've got the flexibility to push back into there should we need it. So as far as this goes, and what I've done, I've folded the legs down, I've still got the camera on the gimbal, and obviously taken the props off. This will go in quite happily like that. So sticking up a little bit, or not quite sure I'm going to do it yet. I might have it like that so it takes the pressure off slightly against this wall and that wall. But let me put the stuff in and then we'll see how things actually configure in the bag. Well, hello, and here we are fully loaded. You'll see that the backpack's pretty big and you can really get a sense of scale there and how far it goes back. I've got all the stuff loaded in there, probably more than I would normally take around even if I was using the big quad. Is it heavy? God, yes. It doesn't get magically lighter just because you've got it in a backpack. The point is the backpack is better designed to carry this sort of weight. So it's sitting more down here and you've got straps to alter your position. So if you wanted to go back further or going further, and of course you've got these ones here, depending how you like it, and of course to get it the weight distributed correctly so you're carrying it right. And then of course you've got straps here and here just so it doesn't fall off. Yeah, it's carrying over the hips, which is what I wanted to do, and this bit's just kind of pivoting on the back, so that's good. Of course at the moment I'm just standing around and that's easy. Go through like, you know, 5k 10k walk and then we'll see how it is. But let's actually get back on the floor and I'll show you what I've put in this and how I've configured it. This has been the most awkward thing for filming because it's quite big and I can't fit me and the backpack in. So let's concentrate on the backpack and I'll show you what we've got. So like I said, this is like fully loaded. This is probably more than I'd ever take. So in the roll top section, you notice this has come out, and in here, instead of a transmitter, I've got a sort of SLR camera. It's a bridge camera actually. I had to steal it off my daughter because I'm filming using my SLR. And then we've got a little Gorilla pod, and I've got the waterproof thing, and I've got some more space in there so I could put some extra clothes in if I wanted, but I won't. In this zip section here, I've got my sunglasses, my prescription sunglasses, never leave home without those. You can probably see in this section, I've got my tripod to use my DSLR camera. Yeah, and while we're down there, if I open up this bit, we've got a laptop should we need it, and a tablet. I know you guys flying Phantoms are going to have tablets or phones or something. On the other side of that, Where's the zip? There it is. I couldn't find much to put in here, so I put my phone in. I had to have keys and stuff like that. Right about this bit, didn't put anything in there. Okay, so for the main section. Okay, so in the main section, what I've done is arrange things in such a way that it basically supports the actual quad from moving. So I've got 4 lots of multi-star 5200 4S batteries here, which handy enough can just pull out like this instead of having to take the whole thing out. I got my Fat Sharks just in this section. I got my Tyrannus here, and I've used several of these sections to basically push it off the wall, so I've got space there. So I've got myself 4 multi-star batteries, and then the actual quad itself just sits in like that. Meantime, if I shuffle this backwards, I've got some props here. I was going to put 8 in, but I didn't open the other pack, so I didn't be to, which you can just get out very easily like this. And there you go. So that's how I've rearranged my area, which looks like a very open box now. But let's just have a look side by side of what I've actually got in the bag next to the bag. So here's what we can actually get in the backpack fairly comfortably, and I'm not including, of course, the bag and the cover that came with it, because they're sort of part of the bag, if you like. But the main things and the crucial things for me is the fact I can fit in this humongous quad, albeit folded down, with a camera on the gimbal. I can easily take the Fat Sharks, my Tyrannus, 4 batteries, although I could take more, but I've only got 4 of these 5.2 4Ss. My sunglasses, glasses I would always have, and of course some props and some spares. I would generally take some sort of tripod, either one of these or one of these with a GoPro or some sort of SLR type camera. For the stuff I do, I probably wouldn't take a laptop, but if I was travelling with this in any sort of foreign country, that's something I might need to take. Ditto with the tablet. But yeah, it's a fairly comfortable fit. It's still pretty heavy because all of this equals heaviness. Like I say, it doesn't become magically lighter, it just becomes better to carry on your body. But I'm not satisfied of just putting it here and saying, yep, that fits in that bag, that's that. So I want to take this out and, you know, walk a decent distance and actually see what happens. So yeah, let's do a jump cut and let's take this to the field, walk a distance, do some filming with the quad, and we'll see how it feels. Well, hello there, it's time to put this backpack to the test. I've got the big quad in there, some batteries, tripod, this camera, another drone, bits and pieces. So I need to go on a reasonably long walk to see how it is. So I'm aiming to do 5k. Let's go to the field the long way round. Yeah, let's have a fly and basically see how it feels, see how functional it is, and see how comfortable it is on me. Let's use the Apple Watch. See how far we go. Well, I'm just coming up on the 1k mark, so it's really early days. I was intending to do it here because it was quiet, and as soon as you say that, loads of cars just turn up. Anyway, my first impressions are it's doing the job that I wanted it to. It's the weight is down here on the hips. It's not pulling the back. It's not causing my shoulders to hurt, and it's keeping it off the main part of the lower back, which it seems to be doing quite well. But like I say, for a kilometre or two, this is, you know, you can pretty much carry anything. So find out how it is in a little while longer, but we'll carry on walking. Well, we're into the trails finally, and I say finally because at this point I expect to be just over a kilometre. But if we take a look at my watch, you'll notice we're at nearly 3.5. That's because I managed to forget my phone and I had to walk all the way back house to get it and come back again. So I'm accidentally many more kilometres than I wanted to be, but never mind.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be be, I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I heaver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's heavering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm working, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's growing old with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
On my way home in Tesco's, needed some noodles. Well, just finally got back home, so let's have a quick look at the distance. And we're looking at just over 10k in 3 hours. Not necessarily as far as I intended to go, but the good thing is my back's feeling good. My feet, however, do want a rest because that's a reasonable distance. So let's go put my feet up and then we'll wrap up. Well then, what to say about this? Well, really quite impressive from the comfort point of view, and that's the main thing. I hadn't intended to walk quite for that long or quite that far, but the main thing about it was I could get on with the stuff I was doing without really thinking it was there. To put it in perspective, this, without the props or the battery, weighs 1,450 grams, whereas you get a Phantom 4 Pro with the battery and props on, it weighs 1,388 grams. The batteries are surprisingly similar. The Phantom ones are just shaped a bit different and are a lot more expensive. So the Phantom batteries are 468 grams, these are 434 grams. But the difference between the way I put that in the backpack and the way the Phantom would go in is on the Phantom it would go with its back against the back of the backpack, and so the centre of gravity would be close to your back. With my one, I had to put it this way, making more of a lever action. So to say I was comfortable still after 10 kilometres really does say something about the way they've designed it and the way it actually transfers the weight properly down to your hips instead of on your shoulders and your back, which is really good. Now, I mean, it, like I said again, it doesn't magically get rid of the weight. It's still there, but as I said, my feet hurt, but my back's fine, so that's a good thing. Two little features that I didn't actually talk about, and reasons because, is firstly the transmitter holder, which clips onto the front of the backpack and clips onto your radio. The reason I didn't, it's made so you get your, let's just say it's designed around a Phantom. So you get your Phantom out, you'd start flying it around, you put your backpack back on, you'd have your controller and you could walk around and see what you're doing. Because of course you'd have a screen or your phone or a tablet or something on your transmitter. With that big quad and me, I wear FPV goggles, so I'm not wandering anywhere. It's a pretty bad idea. I don't know if you've ever tried even moving a couple of steps with Fat Sharks on. It's not pretty. You shouldn't do it. The other thing is the rain cover, which for once it didn't rain here. I had it with me just in case, but I didn't need to use it. So it goes over and it keeps everything safe, and it's reversible, so you can look quite bright or quite stealthy. So one thing we have to talk about is the price of this thing. It's not cheap. It's 199 euros, but when I say not cheap, I don't just mean in price. Fortunately, the components and the quality used to build the backpack are very good quality, which is great. So you've seen, probably, if you're a Phantom owner, there are so many of these sort of backpacks with the moulded insides on eBay, and they're all about like 20, 30 pounds. Very cheap. So it's more the question of who's this for? If you're just going down to the park, or you've even got just, you know, a half an hour walk to get there or something like that, then you probably don't need one of these. You'll be able to put up with one of those cheapy ones and sling it on your back or whatever. If you are out for a day and you're walking distances, you want something that's going to be very comfortable, that you can adjust, that you can put all your stuff in and not have to think about it. I mean, you saw me set up those little wheelie things, like obviously I put my camera out on the tripod and I jump over the fence, or I put the Mavic in the sky so I can walk along. I did all that whilst carrying the main quad and that, and it was so easy just to get the backpack on and off, reach back in the pockets while I still had it on to get it. Everything where the backpack isn't the issue means it's very usable and very workable, because every time you're sort of doing something and you're like, oh god, this is heavy or something like that, it's going to put you off and it's going to not have you do anything. So it's really something, if you want to stay out for hours at a time, days at a time, take your Phantom, take all your batteries, take your extra stuff and be able to travel with it, this is where this comes into its own. And whilst it's 200 euros, if you were to buy a Phantom 4 Pro, which is currently £1,589 in the UK, and another extra 5 batteries at £169 a piece, you're close to spending £2,500 on a setup that will admittedly keep you in the air for a very long time and do a lot of filming. But if you're spending that much money on your quad and your batteries and all your setup, I think spending another 200 euros on getting something that's very comfortable and easy to arrange your stuff in, instead of, like, you know, cheaping out on the 20, 30 pound version, that's money well spent. So yeah, if you're a Phantom owner or similar type of drone and you're out for adventures, then definitely give this a try. It is the Torvol Drone Adventure Backpack, and I will put links below to where you can check out on the website. But that's all for me, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now. Well, you've made it to the end of the video, so thanks once again for watching. If you like what you saw, then please consider subscribing, and if you really like what you saw, then be sure to check out the link to my blog for a variety of ways in which you can help support this channel.